Hi everyone, it's a happy day 10 of the fast, 240 hours in, week 2. I'm very happy and I'm definitely not going to be recording every day because my last vlog video when I taped every day of the 7 days was way too long. Nobody's gonna watch that. So maybe just once in a while and I'll upload when I can. Obviously my skin is better, I think better, but most importantly, it's been a very good dopamine reset. There's a lady on YouTube. She's a doctor that I've recently discovered. She talks about the same thing that even a 36-hour fast is good enough to do a pretty good dopamine reset. So food restriction has been shown through studies, even in animals, that it causes recovery of your dopamine receptors so that there's more dopamine flowing and more sense of joy and reward the next time you eat. And the pathways, the dopamine pathways actually get kind of damaged and it doesn't function as well if you keep feeding, especially on high carbs, high calories. So that's been kind of amazing because I think it has been gradually happening, the kind of dopamine recovery, as I mentioned before. Um, I see myself, even last year, I didn't mention it a lot, but even last year, I was doing a lot of things during that 21-day period of fasting and like doing things that I hadn't done before. Like I was putting off like crazy, like cleaning around the house, making home renovations. You know how annoying that can be, like fixing furniture or like sewing and mending stuff and just like moving furniture around. That I never do that when I'm not doing a fast because I'm too lazy. But these days, perhaps with the dopamine fast, I'm doing all of that. Everything is very clean. I'm I should have cleaned more often, but I'm very happy about. Just to give you an idea, this is my kind of progress here. My home apartment setup is small, but I like it very cozy, and I plan to keep maintaining it. You know, a clean environment I think helps me mentally as well. So I'm doing that, and a lot of good ideas at work. I was working very efficiently yesterday, being able to focus, and everything's a great joy. Just being able to chat with people online or talk to people, especially, and any occasion is a big joy right now, which is great. And I guess that has to do with how I felt last year when I was breaking the fast. Just like everything tasted like ambrosia. I was so happy when I broke the fast with something as simple as a sweet potato. And obviously, all those dates I ate, I was just going nuts. So I am looking forward to breaking the fast this year as well, but being much more careful. So not too many sweets. I'm not gonna binge on dates again. Maybe one a day, and slowly get myself into a disciplined diet with cruciferous greens, keto as much as possible, lots of good protein, um, and no more delivery and takeout foods. So it hasn't been easy. I experienced the last 21-day fast too, but there's definitely a lot of changes going on in my brain, I suppose. Um, like my like dopamine levels are kind of all over the place. In my 21-day fast, I experienced this thing where I felt like I needed to release all my like past resentments towards family, towards my parents and stuff. And all of that kind of anger came out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the fast. And this time it's a little bit different. I think I let go of all of those resentments in the last fast, but this time it's something like even more like from the past. Like I used to be addicted to video games since I was very little, like 8 or 9. I started playing, and I thought I was fine just playing like a couple hours a day, but I kept doing that all through adulthood, and it kind of became a dependence issue. Like I didn't really notice how bad it was until I became an adult, and when I was having like life issues, I would become dependent on that dopamine hit from video games. Like that's all I wanted to do. Even when I was struggling in my job, instead of like facing it and figuring out ways that I can do better at the job or think about my career, I was just like running away to video games. And I can't do that anymore. I'm not a kid anymore, so that all kind of came up couple of for the last couple of days. Like I think because my dopamine sensitivity is so much higher now, I keep craving like to play video games, and that keeps coming up. And I haven't played in like the past several months, and it kept coming up, and then I realized that like it's a real problem. Like maybe the reason why in the middle of this fast, when I'm supposed to be recovering my brain, like all this craving for video game comes up. I think it's definitely trying to tell me something. Like if it was alcohol or gambling or drugs or sex, like those things would come up. But instead, for me, it was my personal struggle with video games in childhood, video game addiction. So I think that's what's telling me this time around. And it's hard. Like I keep wanting to play. I'm gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna try to find other healthy and other fun alternatives that are just not as addictive, not as dopamine like sensitive. That doesn't like make me crave dopamine hits. There's these things like porn and video games that are almost like digital stimulation nowadays that just promises a dopamine hit, so you can't focus on other things anymore, like other healthy alternatives and other important things in life. So I think that's the trade-off. That's a sacrifice I have to make going forward. Other than that, I'm not hungry, but I am discovering new fun things. Like I told you before, I made kimchi because it'll be ready by the time I'm ready to finish this fast. But I also realized that vinegar, homemade fermented vinegar, takes a long time. So by the time I'm done with the fast, I can eat it instead of me trying to meal prep everything month in advance. It doesn't make sense. It's not gonna be fresh. So I'm gonna try making those vinegars for the next few days. So I'm excited about those. And I'm really excited about a lot of little things nowadays. That my dopamine levels, my dopamine equilibrium is definitely healing. And and I weighed myself, and I'm definitely seeing similar results as to the 10-day fast from 2021. So down by body fat's around 10.5% now. I think I weigh around 143, and I'm expecting to go down even further, which is a little bit scary, but hopefully everything will be okay. Ooh, and I'm still learning how to cook better, and those cooking recipe videos are godsend. And here we go again. Like if I were playing video games all the time, especially right now, I wouldn't be learning anything. I wouldn't be learning how to cook better. And I wouldn't even think cooking is fun. With my dopamine sensitivity was all over the place, I thought like, you know, just video game and whatever, just like addictive movies or whatever. But now, just learning how to cook better is fun. It feels fun. So I have to maintain that, and not crave like video games. Almost treat it like junk food, like processed potato chips that are too high in calories and doesn't have that much nutritional value, so to speak. Big sleep disturbances. I woke up at 2 a.m. and then I couldn't fall back asleep until around 4. So that was weird. But I was like super alert. And this happens a lot. I've heard people who fast during Ramadan and stuff. So I am getting the joy back from little things. As I've said before, um, I'm very dopamine sensitive, and I just love just interacting with people any occasion and cooking and just doing simple household things. Um, and there's always new ideas and new things to be done. So I'm always looking forward to kind of getting up and getting going. And I gotta go to work today, so I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good morning, everyone. Happy day 14. I'm about halfway there. I don't feel hungry at all. I've been spending more time with people, and it allows me to. I realize that I can just go out to restaurants and bars and just be around people in general while they're snacking or eating, and they feel a little self-conscious about eating. But when I don't eat, um, I usually just tell them that I'm fasting, and they seem to be fine with it. So I'm just like sipping on tea or like lemon water or whatever, and it's fun just being a part of the dinner conversations, food occasions. So, and it helps very much to be social. So those have been beneficial and fun. I had a lot of people over and played card games yesterday. That was a lot of fun, and I do spend a lot of time in solitude as well, trying to meditate and think about spirituality and God more. So for this remaining 2 weeks or so, I plan to do a little bit more of the spiritual practice and not just stay alone at home all the time, but still focus on that as well. Bye everyone. Happy Sunday.